Hi everyone, I'm Liz Johnson. I am a research associate here at HBS, and I'm sure you've seen me running around all day. I'm very excited to share with you some exploratory early stage findings on sexual harassment at work. So the data I'll be talking with you today about is from the Life and Leadership After HBS survey, which is a longitudinal survey sent to all MBA graduates. And in this second wave of the survey, we sent it out to approximately 33,000 alums, and we heard back from about 5,600. And then in these results, we're just looking at men and women who are working full-time at an organization. So in the second wave of the Life and Leadership Survey, we were really interested in understanding what predicts women's experiences of sexual harassment, as well as men's anxieties and behaviors in reaction to MeToo. So Tori talked a little bit about that in her flash talk and how MeToo has shaped men's anxieties about mentoring women at work. And we're hoping to add some complementary findings on contextual organizational factors that may also influence men's anxieties in reaction to MeToo. So we decided to look at two potential structural predictors for experiences and reactions. We looked at the percent of senior women leaders and masculinity contests. So percent of senior women leaders we measured by asking participants how many of your senior leaders are women. And for masculinity contests, which are the extent to which an organization endorses masculine norms, we asked participants to respond to the 6 bulleted items, which are fulfilling 3 masculine contest norms. And they rated how truthful these norms were for their organization. And we then averaged their responses to these 6 items to create a masculinity contest scale. So for our outcomes, we looked at women's experiences, and we asked women whether or not they had experienced any of these 9 behaviors that you're seeing on the screen. I don't have time to go through all of the percentages for each behavior, but the most common was the first row, make sexually suggestive remarks, and 45% of women had experienced this at work. We then conducted a factor analysis on these 9 items and found that there were 3 subscales, what we're going to call verbal harassment, physical harassment, and gender harassment. So then we looked to see if masculinity contests and percent of senior women predicted these 3 outcomes. And so we did find that there was a significant positive relationship between masculinity contests and verbal sexual harassment and gender harassment. So as masculine norms are increasing in the workplace, verbal and gender harassment are also increasing. And we found a significant negative relationship between the percent of senior women and all 3 outcomes. So as your percent of senior women is rising in the workplace, these instances of harassment are going down. So then we looked at men's reactions to the MeToo climate, and we wanted to know about men's anxieties about harassment and being accused of harassment, as well as these withdrawal or avoidance behaviors in interactions with women. So again, we looked at masculinity contests and the percent of senior women, and we found only one significant relationship, and that was that masculinity contests significantly positively predicted these avoidance or withdrawal behaviors of women at work. So in conclusion, our preliminary results are showing some interesting relationships between having more women in senior positions being associated with less sexual harassment. A work environment with more masculine norms is predicting some forms of sexual harassment. And as Tori has talked about, there seems to be this general cultural backlash occurring against MeToo in terms of these withdrawals of social resources, both mentoring and meeting with women. And so thank you, and thank you to Robin, Peter, Lori, and Colleen, who all were on this project.